We're the final boss. Wholesome Gaming, the final boss. The final boss. I am Jossum.
And I am Raccoon Chad.
This is Fat Tyler 124.
And joining us tonight, special guest, Jose. Do you have a gaming alias?
I do not. Well, I have my online PlayStation name, but I don't use it.
What is it?
It's just my name.
It's Jose Cano?
It's Jose M. Cano 90.
Yeah,
Dude,
Jose M. Cano 90.
Just go with your
No,
name.
dude.
It's like, fuck it.
When I went online, I'm like, dude, everybody uses like an alias. I'm like, fuck, I'm the only guy using his fucking name the year he
Yeah.
was born.
It's awesome.
You could be like everybody else that has like triple X,
Yeah.
Darkness Rising, triple X.
Dude, I saw Darth Fart one time.
Darth Fart.
Yeah.
That is the
I saw
coolest
Darth
name.
Fart. I'm like, nice name, dude.
It's
Yeah.
cool. I don't think I actually revealed this because I'm pretty bummed about it, but my PSN is actually AIDSbot,
Oh my god.
which is definitely something from a former Mike, and the whole idea.
So if you killed somebody, it'd be like AIDS bot killed you.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to talk anymore about it. It's pretty bad.
All right.
I remember AIDSbot. AIDSbot still lives on my Xbox when you made an account.
like he's a person or
Yeah.
something. Like he has feelings and shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
he
guy.
just appears and I was like, oh, hey, AIDSbot. He just sits there asleep, waiting.
Always sleeping,
AIDS bot is offline.
never dying though.
Yep.
I don't know. It was just a joke because I'm really, really bad at console FPS. So, like, anytime anybody was like, hey, come over and play Halo or come play Modern Warfare or just, like, whatever the fuck, I just make it AIDSbot because I don't give a fuck. Like, if you die from me, you're probably bad because I'm awful at FPS on console. So, I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess I was trolling, and that's not tight.
Well, whatever, because that was back in the day, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you on that first person thing, man. Every time I go to somebody's house, if they have Call of Duty, they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
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 If they own it, then they're automatically
I'm like,
good. That
fuck,
is-
you guys
yeah,
have this
I
game. Like, oh,
agree.
you want to play a quick map real quick? I'm like, no.
Nah, dude, I'm good.
Nah,
I'll just sit in the bathroom if you want.
It's like, I'll play the campaign.
I'll just take a
stuff.
nap while you're doing your thing.
So, oh!
Yeah.
Got through the fucking wall, dude. Got through the fucking wall.
Just like dragging hella hard. I got World at War with one of my graphics cards.
That's a good game.
That game's actually really fun. Like,
Yeah.
I
campaign's
used to
great.
like the old Call of Duty games. I really liked Call of Duty 2 and 3, and it's just like,
Then they turn into a monster.
yeah, but
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
just like now it's a game every year.
Like, Call of Duty 3 was tight. Like, playing through that whole game when the nuke went off, like, it was all super sweet.
Yeah.
But then...
Then they're like modern
It just blew up.
combat,
Yeah.
and you're just
Yeah.
like, what? And then they
Black Ops,
try.
Black Ops 2.
They
They
tried.
got a sequel of a sequel.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know.
what?
dog.
No, it's just funny to me because it's like they tried to go back to like their roots with World at War, but people were just like, no, like we
Yeah.
want modern combat, like real guns. And it's just like, okay, like
Sure.
no more World at War games, no more real Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are so good, though, man.
I like them.
Can't
And
be-
3 was fun because I played it on the Wii and it was just awful. Like, it's the worst. It's the absolute most uncomfortable thing you'll ever do is play an FPS on the Wii.
Yeah.
Feel-
But
That's
at the
definitely something
same
that they were good
time,
at.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess since we're on the topic, what games have you been playing, Jocelyn?
all right, I'm for sure back on the Hitman grind.
There we go. There he is. That's the guy.
Months going, I know. I've been talking about it, but I've actually made progression. Dude, the last level that I beat was actually really cool because you're in a courthouse, and you know, like obviously there's areas in a courthouse where you can't go, right? There's like the prisoner cell and just like shit like that. Well, that's where you're trying to get is through the prisoner cell, and the only door in and out is through the actual courtroom itself. So you'd have to walk through like in front of the judge. And it's just like
damn.
that's obviously there's cops there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like this baller ass dude, hella tall and bald as fuck, and I'm wearing a suit, right? Like I'm not even trying to like disguise anything. And I actually managed to like go out a window, like climb a windowsill, fucking hop through, like go through a vent, like all this shit, and like I managed to get into the judge's office, which is like connected to the courtroom itself.
Whoa.
And I like broke some I pulled some wires or some shit, and like I guess like a bunch of the electronics in the courthouse went out. So they're like, okay, 5 minute recess or whatever. And I'm like hiding in a closet, and the judge is just like walking by me with his like long ass judge hair thing on.
Oh, dude.
And I'm just like, oh shit, this is hella intense. And I hop out, and I go through the courtroom, and the cop sees me,
Oh no.
and I was just like, oh well, fuck it. So I sprinted, like I was just like, YOLO, like I got too far to fucking restart. Like normally if I get caught, I'm like, fuck this, I'll restart. But I was too far now.
Yeah.
And I fucking sprinted, and I went into the bathroom, which apparently is connected to the courtroom, climbed through the vent, and they didn't see me. And then I walked through the fucking door, dude. I was so stoked. That was really
That was
high
good.
five.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yes. But no, dude, Hitman is like my shit. Like I'm hooked on that game right now.
Awesome,
and it's
man.
really fun.
That's
and
cool that you're like rediscovering
I
the fun of the
rekindled the fire.
Yeah.
Wait, are you playing the
Of
original Hitman?
Absolution. It's the newest game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And because I really do want to write a review on it because it's fun and I want to tell people like the cool parts and the shitty parts.
game. Nice, dude.
And other than that, Rhythm Heaven and Tactics Ogre.
Cool.
And a little bit of League. I've
Okay.
been trying to still play League, but
We played a game last week, didn't we?
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I just looked at the new character.
Yes,
I
it was
really
fun.
want to play Zach.
Zach was
Dude, Zach looks so
He
much
looks
They
fun.
buffed
a
Karma.
motherfucker.
Did you see that video?
She's
I
like
haven't
a
watched
whole
her
new
video
character.
yet.
yeah, dude. She's like
Okay,
completely
I need to
different.
watch that then.
I got beat by Karma. It's a bummer.
Dude,
Right.
you can play her as support, and I'm probably gonna. I'm
She
probably
was
gonna get her.
support. She was support before, and
And
now
you
she's
should get Zach because he can be solo top,
Yeah.
and you got to do
Yeah.
that.
I love solo top
Yeah.
characters.
dude. Me too, actually.
Yeah,
but
his Let's Bounce ability looks so cool.
yo, I saw a video they posted. It was a follow up, and it's Zach. And if you use the Let's Bounce, and you can bounce over like Baron and Dragon, like almost their whole like circle or whatever. You like if you're in the jungle instead of the river,
Yeah.
you can almost bounce like across that whole thing and
Oh,
back
damn.
into the
Yeah,
jungle.
dude. He
And
can
then you
clear.
can smite while you're jumping over him. Yeah, so Jungle Zach, dude, imagine that, just jumping.
Yeah,
over
I
the-
did see a thing that was like jumping. Yeah, because like being in the brush and then just propelling yourself onto people. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a
It's gonna
fan.
be fucking cool. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, what games have you been playing, Chad?
Uh,
Raccoon Chad.
just the standard stuff, you know, loadout. Still fun. Check it out. Try to get yourselves a beta key. Been on that Duckster grind again.
Yep, Duckster's filthy.
Yeah, I love that website. What else did I play? Oh, I went to SakuraCon this weekend and I played Let's Dance or Just Dance 3 for the Wii because they had it on the big screen and the people I was with, I was like, we haven't played it, let's do it. So we got to play a few songs and I'm hooked, man. I got to get a Wii again.
You heard it here first.
I got to get a
Raccoon
Connect.
Chad loves Just Dance.
I love dancing, man. Like
It's
I was
fun.
actually like while I was like getting ready to fold laundry, I pulled up some YouTube videos and started shadowing some of the videos. And there's some people that like record themselves dancing and they'll just like have it right next to the person on screen and they'll have like a green screen behind them so it looks like they're actually in the video dancing.
Dude.
And some of the people like they're perfect, like they're so filthy and it's just like, oh man, it's so much
Damn.
fun, dude. I love it. And it's such a great
I wanna be
workout
on
too.
that
Like
one.
Yeah.
anybody that's a fan of dancing and like wants to show off some moves like in the club, you know, I did some crumping.
Oh, Raccoon Chad, crumping since 2013.
Okay. 2013.
But yeah, dude, that
I
game-
feel like this is the logical progression of your DDR and like rhythm finger keyboard
Yeah.
game. So like,
Dude.
why wouldn't Chad be loving just
Yeah.
like full body DDR?
Yeah, dude, I'm totally gonna like that's gonna be a new ritual of mine. Like, I'm not gonna bother beating Sigma every day anymore because that's getting boring.
On X?
Yeah,
I hate you. I still need to beat that fucker.
I was totally backseat gaming some people at the retro gaming area because they were playing X, and he was like, "I don't know how to get the dash boots," and I was like, "Really?
Dude,
That's the
come on, it's
first
Show
song.
Penguin.
Yeah,
it's
and he was
Show
like-
Penguin, dude.
And he was like halfway through the game already, and he still didn't have the dash boots. I was
my
like,
God.
"What are you doing?" And
Are
I
you serious?
was like, "What are you doing? You gotta get the dash boots." But I felt like a dick.
Go to the banquet and get the boots.
Yeah, I wanna spend a little time just saying something about SakuraCon. I think that a lot of people judge it too harshly. Like, I think their perception of SakuraCon is just like a bunch of anime and manga freaks, like just getting together and like jacking off over like their favorite shit. But it's
Well, I
it's so
didn't
much-
think that till you said it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's furries there, but, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with that, and, you know, everybody there is just trying to have a good time, and, like, everybody I met there is just, like, super nice, and just, like, really respectful, and, you know, just really friendly and open to making new friends, and, you know, like, even if anime and manga isn't your scene, like, I would definitely recommend checking it out for at least a day, because last night on Saturday I was there till like 3:30 in the morning.
Damn.
Dancing
Yeah.
your night away.
Pretty much, just like hanging out with people. So
Dude, there's some good animes out there though.
yeah, there was. I don't think there was anybody dressed as JoJo or anybody from there.
Any
There was a
from
lot of
there?
It was mostly Adventure Time, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy,
Yeah.
This guy's got.
Oh yeah.
and like there was some League of Legends guys. There was Ace Ventura, which is pretty
What?
cool. Yeah, Ace
Hell
Ventura,
yeah.
which doesn't even fit, but nobody gave
No,
a shit.
it fits
There-
because there was an animated
Did
series.
he
Oh, yeah,
get-
that's
did he get
right,
The
yeah.
hair and everything.
Yeah, he did.
Was
it was
like
perfect,
Oh,
and he actually like
nice.
even talked like him too. So it was really cool.
Dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a blast. It was great. I'm definitely gonna go next year, and I think you guys should definitely come with me.
I'm down to finally go to a SakuraCon because, like,
Honestly,
originally
man, it's more than just anime and manga.
Yeah.
There's so much more to do, and don't even bother spending your time on the exhibition floor, because why would you want to pay $20 for a lanyard? Yeah, no thanks.
like I don't even know what they would exhibit. It'd be just a bunch of anime and stuff.
Yeah, and like the panels are okay, but like unless you're really like into the current stuff, then it's not gonna be interesting to you at all.
Yeah.
Dude, I felt like I was on an anime tip for a second, and then like it just like took this whole other swing, and it just became so complicated. Like all these animes, like, oh, what are you watching right now? Oh, I'm watching Naruto. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, I don't even,
I'm still watching Naruto.
Yeah, this guy-
I'm still
this-
reading Naruto.
Yeah, I feel like there's a point in your life when you're about the tween age, when you start getting into anime, and there's that time in your life when you make that decision. Do I really want to keep like following this and like keeping up with my anime and shit? And then there's the other people that are like, nah, I'm good, and the other people that are like, yeah, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it's that mix of people right there. Like
There's just certain series that, like, I mean, it.
Bleach.
Yeah. Well,
Death
okay.
Note.
Oh, the
Bleach
guy from
kind of
Sword
fell
Art
off.
Online
Death
is
Note
there.
is tight.
yeah,
Fullmetal
Death Note is
Alchemist.
filthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were some people from Soul Eater there. They had their costumes up, and it was really cool. There was a couple people from Gurren Lagann there. It was really awesome. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So, Tyler, what have you been playing, man?
Let's see. Did I talk about how I finally beat Metal Gear Rising last week?
Oh, you
Nice.
did.
How
Yeah,
was
I
it?
did. It was good. Like, I'm not the biggest Raiden fan, but the game mechanics of that are worth playing it alone. Like,
Yeah.
the cut physics are so tight. All the villains are cool. Like, they're very Metal Gear Solid-y, and the storyline is very Metal Gear Solid.
Have you played the VR missions PlayStation game?
Yeah.
Remember the Gray Fox, the Cyber
Who
Ninja
do you
levels
think
in
I
this?
played through the entire game?
That's what
as?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that was cool for me because, like, when, like,
That's what I'm saying.
I can't take Raiden seriously as a character from where he started to where he's ended up.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Jack the Ripper thing, like,
Yeah.
Raiden's still kind of a joke to me, but he's a recovered, and, like, he's a cool ninja character
I think
now.
that's just how he talks. I think it's just how he talks. Like,
It is, how he talks.
like Snake. Just very
Yeah.
soft,
Yeah.
like trying to be soft,
Yeah.
and still trying to like make his voice.
Because, like,
be
in the
so
beginning of the game, it's
soft.
just like, oh, hey, I'm Raiden, I'm a ninja, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop you. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, you've brought out the Jack the Ripper in me, and now I'm gonna slaughter everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is the same dude.
getting yelled at by his girlfriend over a
Yeah.
fucking codex and stuff. I'm like, Rose.
Jack Rose.
From what I've seen from your streams, it looks kind of like Shinobi plus Bayonetta. Like the
yeah.
combos and
Yeah.
like the ninja style like fighting of
Yeah.
Shinobi, because
Gosh,
Shinobi was my
Shinobi's great,
shit, man.
Dude, Shinobi had the fucking scarf and shit, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And like getting those sick combos when like all those Japanese symbols be like ching 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 ching.
That was one of the first games for PS2 that I was like, man, that was
Really, yeah.
And the
Yeah.
cover was sick.
Yeah.
I remember the cover was sick. Just like, I was like, dude.
Yeah, you look so badass, man. So much
So
fun.
yeah, I finally finished that. The ending was good. I'm looking forward to some of the like continuation DLC. I want to play there's going to be one where you get to play as the robot dog. I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be one where you're Raiden and you have a sword that talks like Snake.
Oh
That's-
my god.
So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be Raiden and Snake together again.
That's so Kojima, dude.
It's so
That is
Kojima.
so Kojima.
my
It's
God.
so sick, though.
and
I'm
then
gonna have to
like
buy this game now.
yeah, that's gonna be tight. And then like I'm looking forward to it. It definitely has some longevity to it because like after I beat it, I want to go back and I want to go through. I want to find all the other left arms that I still have to cut off.
Nice.
You know what? I'm going out tomorrow. I'm gonna buy it.
Yes.
I'm going
You
tomorrow.
made a sale today, sir. Good job.
Good, you just sold me here.
Yep.
Shake my hand, man.
Let's see.
Shake my
Beyond that,
fucking
I
hand.
played.
Shake it.
Been playing a bunch more Happy Wars. I literally
Yeah.
played Happy Wars every day last
Still
week.
cheesing?
No, like, we don't even have to cheese anymore. We found out our buddy Hefe plays, and he's a higher level than me and my squad were.
Damn.
And so now we're playing with him, and we have, like, a super cleric.
Shoutouts to Hefe.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hefe. And then, like, we have 2 mages and me as the warrior still. And basically what we do is we just roll through, go into bases, and we have our cleric just sit in the background, resurrecting us while we're just tearing shit up in their base.
Nice.
Like, that game is so much fun. Everybody should play Happy Wars. It is free on Xbox Live. All it requires you to do is play.
Nice.
Like, all you have to do is log in every day, and you get free money for it. And items. You
Yeah.
have an entire month to, like, just log into the game, like, 25 times, and you get rewarded for it.
Nice.
Like, it couldn't be easier.
Uh-huh.
And so, I finally started playing Bioshock Infinite yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so tight. Like, I
saw one
I
of
won't
the-
get too far into it, but
Yeah.
I just started. I'm liking it so far. It is worth the hype.
I saw the scene where like in the first part of the game, the racist part.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, oh shit, it's that kind of game, isn't it?
It was
It's-
so
it's
funny
heavy,
because
dude.
like I was going through the game and I was like, there's no black people. Maybe that's a thing. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like, oh, there's the black
They
people.
really made
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Like,
The game is
jeez.
going to be super racist, and I love it because it's just going around killing a bunch of racist people.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the Django Unchained Infinite.
Yeah.
Nice.
Django Infinite Chain.
This game sounds like you're just like killing haters, basically.
Basically.
Yeah. It's like fuck hate. Yeah.
And a little bit of Tomb Raider sprinkled in there.
Ooh, I've heard
It's gonna,
good things
yeah.
about Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider's really good.
And
You should
it
get
went
that
from
too.
like Tomb Raider being like super sick and then slowly declining in terms of like how good the games were like in
Yep.
the 90s and shit. And then like this one came out like, oh, we're fucking reworking. Like, oh, I don't know. Everyone's like, I don't know, man. The last couple games have been not good. And dude, they've been fucking good.
Yeah.
Dude, kudos to the studio who's like, developing that. Man.
Yeah,
It's
man,
Square Enix.
Seriously.
What?
Yep.
Square Enix? Oh,
Yep.
that's right. They started getting into other games besides RPGs. I
Yep.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
What was the game they did? It was like a first-person shooter. I'm like, what? What? Like, seriously? Like, Square Enix? Like, all right.
Yeah, why not?
They're
you know?
doing it.
Well, the super group merger,
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. And then Kingdom Royale, I finally hit. I'm at the last boss right now.
The final boss.
Almost
The final
boss.
Shouts to the final boss.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
final boss. Jose, what you been playing this week?
Well, I have been playing Bioshock Infinite as well. I picked it up and I was like, I like the first Bioshock. I didn't get the second Bioshock. 'Cause
Same.
I didn't get it because it's just like, well, I already discovered, I already went through the layers of Rapture. I don't
Yeah.
want to, you just want to take me in through the sewer system now? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do
I
you-
heard
what
nothing
else?
but bad things about the second one anyway.
It's like, oh, you can see a big sister,
Yeah.
and you can go
Whoa!
outside in
And
the
you're a
water.
big daddy. And you're a big daddy. That's cool.
Been
right?
there, done that.
yeah. No, thank you, man. So I was like, nah. But I heard good things about the DLC Minerva's lair.
Yeah.
I've heard good things. I was like, all right, but I still didn't get it because, yeah. But then this one came out and I heard it's like from the original developers of the first Bioshock.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like that first Bioshock. That's probably one of the games I always replay, just Bioshock.
Yeah.
It's just a well-rounded game, dude. I like it a lot. And the freaking, oh god, I forgot the names. I keep calling them Vapors now, or,
Vigors.
Vigors. I keep calling them Vigors. Oh my god. And I forgot the first name of the first ones. What was it? The Powers?
Plasmids. Yeah,
plasmids.
plasmids.
Plasmids and Adam.
Yeah.
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 God. That was a twist right there. You're like, you gotta harvest these little girls, dude.
Yeah.
That was such a great. Oh,
It's
shit.
like the little girls
Spoiler
go.
alert.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Little girls
Dude,
go
it's been
around.
out long
Yeah.
enough. Bioshock 1.
It's been out
sorry,
long enough.
guys.
Don't worry.
Little
about
girls go out and then they harvest Adam from people, metabolize it, and
Yeah.
then you have to take it out of those little girls
it. Or save them.
or
save
save them.
them.
I did
Or
save
take
them.
I-
a few.
yeah.
Take
Yeah.
a few.
I saved all of them.
Yeah, I saved all of them because I wanted that achievement because that would be the hardest one. I wanted to do that
Yeah.
first
The
and
fir-
then do the easiest
yeah.
playthrough.
The first time I played through, I took a couple. And I took a couple. I'm like, I'll spare you.
I'll just take a little couple for
It's
myself.
like, well, I'm just gonna open one for me. Let me take that slug at you. Let me take that slug at you, girl. So yeah, I've been playing that. I've been recently getting on a video game tip again. It started with Mass Effect 3.
Hell yeah! Did you beat
Good.
it?
I beat it.
Good
Dude,
guy.
I beat it.
Good
I
job.
beat it. I
Did
beat
you
it.
play the whole series?
I did.
Did you get all?
Well, on PS3,
yeah.
so kind of.
They re-released one.
I know, but like
Dude.
I've already beat the game. I
No,
wanna go.
dude. Trust me.
I heard it's more RPG-ish.
Just start from number 1
Right.
and
Work my way
and,
through?
and carry your character all the way through. It feels so good.
Does it?
And honestly, even if you play the first game and you're like, oh, I don't really like that class,
Right.
you can re-roll as another
Vanguard.
class in the next game. Dude, my first
Vanguard.
playthrough was Soldier, and my second playthrough was Vanguard. And
I-
Vanguard is so fun.
I tried was it the Soldier first, and I was like, no, I tried the Vanguard first, and I beat the game that way. I tried Soldiers, like I don't like it.
It's too just like easy.
Yeah.
Especially in the first game, you just max out assault rifle immediately, and you're just like, you're all fucking dead now.
Well,
Like,
see-
immediately.
No, the thing that I missed though was the Shockwave, dude. That was my shit,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
I always use Shockwave, and then I'd use the what was it, the teleport one, where it's
The
just
Rush.
like the rush. I'd always
Yeah.
use that double
Charge,
charge,
or
and like. And then I'd be invisible for a second. I'd be like, "Yes," like you are all dead.
That's Infiltrator.
No, it was Vanguard too. But remember how you can switch out some of your abilities? So I did that.
Oh yeah, you could use other people's
Yeah.
final ability. Yeah,
And I was a Earthborn,
Nice.
Yeah.
and I was
yeah.
a war hero.
I always chose Spacer because I like that better.
Yeah.
I love Titan AE.
Dude, did you guys?
Yeah, dude, that's super tight name.
Take me higher.
Totally not on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Not on the soundtrack.
That's not on the
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah, I have the soundtrack like right over there.
What? Then why do I always like see the music video? It's like Titan AE.
I don't know. It wasn't on the
What?
soundtrack. I can tell you right now that song is not on there.
Is Creed anywhere?
No, it's not. Man.
I feel
It's,
like
it's
there
a
should
band
be a
that
Creed.
sounds like Creed.
Oh what?
Yeah.
Is it Schnickelback?
It's not
Oh.
Schnickelberch.
Okay. Word.
But yeah, so
Is it back of Schnicks?
Mass Effect 3, and then I got Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch.
Ooh.
I've been telling Mike here to get
Dude,
it.
you need to get fucking Ino Kuni. I'm about to get that game.
I got
Do
it.
you like Pokemon, Mike?
up, don't ask
I told him about
Do
that.
you like Pokemon?
Yes.
Because you're gonna love the fucking shit out of Ni
Let
no
me tell
Kuni.
you guys, I have gone to online forums to find out things about the ones. I'm like, all right, I got a Mighty here, so let me check out what's a good form. When I evolve into the third one, which one do I want? Do I want more defense or more of an offense kind of guy? It's like people online are like, well, if you want defense, you got to go with the Monarch. Obviously, the best one for defense. Like, well, no, I got a bunch of bananas. Babanas. No, they're called babanas. Dude. It's just like
Babanas.
it looks like bananas, but it's like a thing you can catch or kill.
Okay.
And it's just like, it like makes a little. Every single one makes a funny noise.
Can I just say that I love the sound effects that you're making
Oh,
throughout this
yeah,
entire
yeah.
podcast?
Dude.
They're seriously my favorite part.
Oh, dude, no, I love it. I'm a very out kind of like
Yeah.
when I know what I'm talking about. When I don't, I'm just like quiet. I'm just like, but there's that one. He's a really good defense and offense, dude. So these numbers go up to like 500, but each one you can level to level 99. Some of them have level caps in their first form, but like this game is like grinders heaven, dude.
Yeah.
Because there's like a couple hundred different types
Damn.
of these little things, and they all have different characteristics, different stats. Like, it's a very detailed game. This is not a kid's game.
No,
Yeah.
it looks super kiddie. It looks like a Miyazaki film.
Didn't he actually do the
No,
animation for
he
it?
did.
It's-
Studio Ghibli just worked.
Yeah,
on it.
Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli. Yeah, that's right.
And then
Okay.
level 5 actually did all the shit, all
Okay,
the mechanics
yeah.
and shit. But it plays great. It looks fantastic.
Yes.
It really does.
I saw some of
It's
the
so
cutscenes,
pleasing
man.
to the
Super,
eye.
Yeah.
super smooth.
Like
Yeah.
when you're like first out and about, I'm like, I love this. This reminds me of like old RPGs when you're like in the world just walking around and the people are following you. But the
Yeah.
soundtrack is by the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra. Okay,
Dude.
they
Yeah.
did the soundtrack to this
Filthy.
game, and let me tell you, the soundtrack is the voice acting is amazing. So when you first go out and you start walking about, like you see like wind going through the hills, you see grass moving with it. And then you see the little
What?
and you see the little monsters just like chilling about. And some of them are rare, and they'll only show up in one spot too in the whole world.
Oh wow.
And so there's like they're all over the place, and you like not spoiling anything, but you do get a boat.
Okay.
like classic RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get the
usually
standard
get stuff like
boats,
that.
dragons.
Like no, yeah, in the trailer
Blimps.
you see all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
okay, okay.
you get a boat, and then eventually you do get a dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
So air flight is possible, and you can just travel the whole world.
And so there's a bunch of these little guys. Some of them are stronger than others, but some of them only get stronger after level 80. And let me tell you, it's a grind. It's just like, you got to get hella far, and all of a sudden, the boost just like the stats just like go off the chains, and like so.
Damn.
Yeah, but
dude.
it's an intense game. If you're into like tactics with a large amount of detail,
Yeah.
this game would be for you. It's not a
Okay,
game.
it's filthy like Pokemon in the way that if it gets as detailed as you want it to be, you could just get a starter squad and
Yeah.
go through the entire game with that. But if you choose to, you could go out and you could specially pick and like look for all the rare shit and then evolve them during certain or like down certain chains to like have a super squad for certain things. So like it's as grind heavy and detailed as you want it to be.
And it's also like Pokemon where you can give them stuff that increases their stats, like snacks.
Right.
You
Yeah.
have snacks. There's like cakes. There's sundaes. There's ice cream cones. There's flan. And then there's chocolate. And you can make this shit too. You can make you have an alchemy thing too. Sorry, it's later in the game, but you get an alchemy tub and you have a genie with you. But the cool thing is you get to fight the genie though. Yeah. And the battle system is pretty good too, I gotta say. It's quite good. The battle system is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's active combat or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not
Action RPG?
Yeah, so it's not turn-based combat,
Yeah.
it's active combat.
So
So, like you're in a like circular arena and like you're moving around in real time. And so like you play as your player guy, but then you can either attack as yourself and cast magic spells, or you can have out your little familiar guy to attack for you, and then eventually you get 3 different characters, so that means you can have 3 different little dudes out attacking at the same time, and then each person can hold 3 different character dudes at the same time, and each one of them, when they're out in combat, their timer goes down. So, like, you're constantly having to, like, swap out guys, otherwise they get exhausted, and then you can't use them for longer.
Yeah.
And so it's just, like, figuring out different combos and attacking and then doing shit in real time. It's such a filthy combat
And also
system.
you can set it for what your AI, what you want them to do. There's like keep me healthy, or do whatever you want, or give it your all, or or don't use abilities, so they don't all use up all their magic.
Yeah. That reminds me kind of Kingdom Hearts, how like you can set your,
that's right.
Yeah.
your party members to like heal you or whatever.
Yeah, the combat system is kind of similar to Kingdom Hearts.
Sounds more like Tales of Symphonia to me, because they also also have an arena type like battle system in it, where it's like action RPG kind of.
In the IGN review, that's what they say. It's a mix between Tales and Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know what's hella weird is I think the only game I can actually think of that had like a battle arena that just like appears and shit like that really, or the first one that I can remember at least was Quest 64. I will never forget the combat system in that
That game was terrible, but the combat system was cool.
That game's a cult classic though.
No,
There's
it
like
is.
a huge movement of people that love Quest 64.
That game's super grind heavy.
It
Super
goes on
grind heavy.
forever.
Nice. Oh, and the sugar and the icing on top of that, the story's great too.
Yeah.
Word.
Story's
Okay.
pretty
Word. Any other games?
good. Just those mainly, but I've I don't know, I got back on my Netflix tip as
There you go.
well. But
Hell yeah.
Nice.
as
Watch
in terms of game, that's about it.
Word.
Okay.
No mobile games or nothing either.
Right.
Sweet.
So, Tyler, since you're going to be probably hosting this part, so I'll just do this.
Come on, guys.
Metal Gear Solid, guys. Come on, why don't you play along?
I don't know the rest of the song.
Oh, he knows the Konami intro.
Oh,
yeah. We got it.
All right.
That's my favorite intro.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking a little bit about Metal Gear Solid.
No
So
way.
A little bit.
a lot of it. So I feel like since I could talk about any subject, you guys sort of like lead us down the path of what to talk about, and then me and Jose will just
Lay down the
splurge.
information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like make sure you kind of like just if we're going too long or just jump us to another topic because we will take up 5 hours. This will be parts 4, 5, and 7.
Let me do a little bit of that.
Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear launches nukes?
So, what? Why don't we just go? Why don't you guys just do a quick overview of the timeline so far? Of, like, what's happened thus far? Like, from the beginning to
It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I was gonna say, is it
timeline.
possible to do like a quick one, or is that gonna take like?
We
Just
quick
blow through the
overview.
Order of just like when they came
Yeah,
out. When the
okay.
games came
Okay,
out.
cool.
So, starting with Metal Gear Solid 3, right?
Metal Gear Solid. Well, now they kind of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, okay, so starting with Metal Gear Solid 3,
1966 or 5. It might be 63.
around the Cold War. So,
I think it might have been
that's on a timeline.
what?
Fully agreed, nice. Sorry, too busy
no,
checking
sorry.
our Twitter. Okay, so you...
So 60s, Cold War era.
Yeah. 60s Cold War era, you start out, you are introduced to Jack, also known as Naked Snake, who is studying under the boss.
Yeah. A woman soldier, super soldier.
A woman super soldier who's trained like all the best people and is the mentor to Snake. They're going out to find
The group.
Yeah.
The
first mission is he has to find Sokolov.
the Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
That was the first one where they had to
Well,
find the doctor. That's right.
Yeah, so it originally starts out with they have to find Sokolov, who is developing a new secret weapon called the Shagohod, which is
A precursor.
It is the precursor to a mobile nuclear launching weapon.
Metal Gear, wink, wink.
Yeah, Metal Gear, wink, wink. And so you find the good doctor, and then as you're taking him out of the base, you find out that the boss has actually defected to the Soviet Union. And she tells Jack that he just can't come with them.
Yep.
And so she kicks Jack's ass, leaves him for dead. And
you get to see some precursors, though, in that scene, because then you get to see some of the bosses, like Bulgan. You get introduced to this guy. He's all dressed up in his Soviet uniform, and, they got the green with the red.
Yep, he's got lightning powers for some reason, which starts to introduce you to the fact that there is weird shit going on in the Metal Gear Solid universe.
Yeah, just a heads up. There's dudes who fucking have bees in their bodies.
Yeah, there's dudes who control bees. There's guys that are made of fire. No, the Fury was the fire guy. The Pain was the bee guy.
Oh, the Pain.
There's also Ghosts,
sorrow.
and Ghosts apparently linger on forever.
Yeah.
And so you're introduced to Sorrow, and apparently, so that was the boss's group,
right.
And she goes and defects to the Soviet Union.
What were they called? The Cobra unit?
Yeah, the Cobra unit. And each one of them had a different emotion that they brought into battle.
That's right.
Right.
So then it's Jack's responsibility as Naked Snake to go out and defeat them, kill the boss, because Volgin ends up shooting off a nuclear warhead that then is about to trigger the Cold War.
Yeah.
And so it's Snake's job to repair everything by killing the boss and getting all the plans back and stopping the Shagohod as a sign of good faith to show that the American people, that the American government had nothing to do with the attack on Soviet Russia, and that it was the results of a defect American spy.
So when he goes back again to the same spot, he has to meet up with Adam.
Yeah, he's instructed he has to meet up with a secret agent, Adam, who actually never ends up showing up.
Instead,
Little does he know, wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Another secret agent intercepts him, known as Eva, who will later be known as Big Boss. Keep that,
Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Big Mama.
But we're saving that for later.
Big Boss, Big Mama, is that what?
What?
Is that another clone? Oh my god.
Oh, no. We'll get to that.
We'll get to clones. And so,
a lot of clones, actually. A lot of clones.
Ton,
actually.
So then
Attack the clones.
Snake goes along, and he ends up meeting this kid, who is actually the leader of the, I want to say GRU unit.
The GRU.
Yeah, a young hotshot by the name of Revolver Ocelot. Yes,
there's some ridiculous moments in these games. Just to get out of the way, if we're starting, I'm not gonna even say it anymore because from here on out, it's just gonna that's normal.
Yeah.
So he just to call his unit, it's like a slow motion
and then all of a sudden, just 20 dudes show up out of nowhere who are just hiding in the trees.
Yeah,
that's great.
But the cool thing about Eva though is the situation gets hairy. And she's like, I'll see you later. She gets on her bike and fucking does a backflip off this dude's face.
Literally flash kicks a dude with a motorcycle.
And he's like, oh! And he gets like his tire marks on his face, dude. But it's so smooth, dude. The graphics in this game are like ridiculous, dude.
Is this
like,
3?
3.
Yeah, this
guys
one
still
was
on
It was
pushing it
smooth, man.
just a little bit.
You guys are getting really detailed in these.
Oh yeah, should we leave the story? Just kind of like
Yeah, we're gonna have to rush through more. So basically, by the end of it, Snake goes through. He meets Revolver Ocelot. He meets a man. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he informs Snake that he worked with an American guy on plans for what would later become the first Metal Gear.
Oh, that was the drunk guy. Remember?
Yeah,
the drunk
they
guy.
start talking about he's trying to develop plans for a bipedal nuclear walking battle tank, which will, of course, later become the Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Rex.
Yes.
But
no.
technically,
Yeah,
it's the Metal Gear TX-55.
Yeah, from
Oh, well.
Snake's
Was
Revenge.
that some nerd shit? Oh, my
Excuse
God.
me.
I just heard some nerdy shit. I'm sorry.
So Snake goes along. He defeats all the Cobra unit.
Yeah.
Finally gets up to Volgan. Defeats Volgan. Volgan sicks the fucking Shagohod on him.
Yeah.
You stop the Shagohod with missiles thanks to riding on Eva's motorcycle.
Yeah.
After they blow up the Shagohod, the only thing that's left is to escape the island. And as you're about to leave,
Ocelot.
Snake just gets Snake just
Sorry.
feels something in the wind, walks into the field, and there's Big Boss.
Or Boss.
Or no,
She's
Boss.
Boss.
Yeah, there's the Boss, and he fights her. This whole game is about duty to your country versus
Yeah.
duty to your mentor,
Yeah,
or like
oh my
your
God,
personal Yeah, like personal struggles. Like, do you do your duty for your country or do you do it for yourself? Like, do you do what you're told or you do what you live by?
So, if I might take the reins.
Yeah, go ahead.
After Snake defeats Boss, it turns out that Boss was actually still working with the U.S. government, and actually, the whole mission was for Snake to kill her and to prove America's innocence and their good faith that Snake killed her. So, but after he killed her, she was known as like a traitor and a
defector.
A defector, pretty much, and her name was put through the mud. But he knew, but the shit, like, he felt like he was so mad at the government that this happened, that this set into motion the events that are now going to become the next games and in the next story. This is the moment where Boss, well, after he did all that shit, they promoted him to Big Boss because he defeated Boss.
Yeah, he got all this big promotion stuff because he killed his mentor, who his mentor the whole time was super deep undercover as a secret agent, because basically back when Volgan set off that nuclear warhead, that wasn't accounted for. That was never supposed to happen. But because that happened, somebody had to answer for that. And so she volunteered herself. Volunteered herself as her duty to be killed off so that America would not go into war with the Soviets. And so they made Snake kill her. And so Snake just has our Big Boss now has all this personal turmoil about it. Then you get into Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops.
Is that right after it? Or
Yeah.
Was it Peace Walker?
No, Portable Ops happens after that one. So in Portable Ops, so after Snake beats Boss, he then gets encountered by Ocelot again. They have a final showdown. This sets up that actually Ocelot looks up to Big Boss. He Ocelot was a young hotshot guy, completely full of himself, and Big Boss just fucking puts him in his place. Ocelot now looks up to Big Boss and keeps in contact with him. The main point of Portable Ops is it establishes why the Genome Project started, because Snake, again, the Big Boss, gets sent on a mission and he has to stop this new group. It introduces a couple more like Metal Gear theories, and basically you fight against this commander who has psychic abilities to control like a huge amount of soldiers. So like, say you have a bunch of soldiers on the battlefield.
Mantis?
Almost.
Sorry. My bad.
But
no, I'm not. I'm just saying that's where it comes from.
Yeah, he's like the precursor. He was the first like psychic soldier guy. And so along the way, Snake ends up fighting a young Gray Fox who was codenamed Zero.
Was it Zero?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Zero.
And so you fight him, you find out that this kid would eventually later become Gray Fox.
Was it Jack Yeager?
Yeah, Jack Yeager.
Jack Yeager.
And so basically this commander guy has the ability to instill just complete control over all of his, like, units and everything. Like, say they're on the battlefield and they start losing and they get scared, he can be like, you guys need to buck the fuck up and, like, you know, just psychically control them so that they don't have any fear and they go into battle. Well, inversely, you have Big Boss, who is such a commanding leader and just, like, on the battlefield leading all of his guys that they just follow him naturally because he's just such, like, war hero.
Icon.
He's such an icon that it's just like, we're fighting with Big Boss. Like, he doesn't lose. He killed the boss. Like, you know, he's such, like, we're on his side. And so it's such a struggle between the two of them. Snake ends up beating him. And then the results of that game are Snake ends up getting double betrayed by the government because basically they want to silence him after the whole boss situation because it seems like Snake's about to whistleblow or something like that.
No, was it whistleblowing or the fact that it looks like he was building a small army pretty much?
Well, no, he builds a small army after. Well, during the whole game is about Portable Ops is about building up an army, and it's the precursor of Outer Heaven. And so
was it was that night? Is the next one where it's like Soldiers Without Borders?
It's
some French name, but I can't. Yeah,
Peace Walkers. So after the events of Portable Ops, you go into Peace Walker, which is they're now a PMC basically. Yeah, they're a mercenary group where Big Boss leads a group of soldiers from their, like, Outer Heaven shell base. They, like, rent an oil rig. And they're, like, expanding a base. So it's, like, it's him and a giant group of soldiers that can go out and then wage wars on threats in place of, like, a nation's army. And so they take all of those soldiers, and then you go along, it's more Metal Gear stuff. And in Peace Walker, what ends up happening is they create an AI of the boss. And they try putting it into different Metal Gears, and Snake's really confused because he's like, why are you doing this? Why are you using her memories and stuff like that? But then he's also, like, trying to talk to her because, like, her soul is alive in the AI that they made. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. And, like, so...
It's like some Ghost in the Shell shit,
yeah, that's basically what it is. And it's like he's trying to, like, get answers of, like, did she really do all of that out of duty for her country? Or was it, like, just her personal belief? Like, why was she so willing to do all of those things and be labeled a traitor? And so, like, Boss just wants to find out more of that information. And so by the end of it, like, he kind of gets his answers, but then he just decides, like, you know, I've had enough of this. Like, countries are going through all these lengths. Like, it leads into him wanting to create Outer Heaven and be, like, a separatist military group. And they'll just, like, start up their own nation and then just topples things from there.
Yeah, that was like the nail in the coffee for him.
Yeah,
I think he bought a patch of land, didn't he? After
that,
that's
Zanzibar.
Zanzibar
And
Zanzibar land.
Yeah, Zanzibar land.
Outer Heaven, man. Oh.
And then Outer Heaven starts. I'm feeling that more of the events that happen after that are going to be in Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
That's when we're going to find out that large chunk of information.
After that, he gets in a coma, right?
Yeah. Let's skip forward a bunch of years to when, at some point, Big Boss ends up in a coma.
Yeah.
While he's in a coma, they extract some of his DNA while he's under. They start a cloning project based on the previous Genome Soldier stuff.
Which is called Les Enfants Terribles, the Terrible Children.
Yeah.
That's the codename project right there.
From this cloning process, they create 2 children.
No, 3.
3 children. Well, 2 children that you knew about originally. We'll talk about the third one later.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So
there's
one
3.
of them got the dominant genes. One of them got all of the recessive genes. The dominant genes, which I think was like the blonde hair and stuff like that, that was Liquid. The recessive genes with the black hair was Solid.
Which doesn't make sense because black hair is actually a dominant gene.
Okay, then yeah, the dominant genes went to him and the recessive genes went to Liquid. Okay. Thanks, Chad.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. You're helping.
Okay.
Little science fact there.
Yeah, science facts. So then those 2 twins are brought up. They're separated at some point. And then we're met with who we learn is Snake.
Yeah.
And he's in the NES game.
Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear. So in Metal Gear, he gets dropped off. He's told that he has to, in Zanzibar land, he has to stop the criminal leader, Big Boss, who has taken over Zanzibar land, and they're developing a Metal Gear. This is the same boss that we've been talking about from all the backstory.
So pretty much, this is the first game.
Yeah,
in
this
terms
is
of, like,
the
actual
first
release
game in this line of Metal Gears.
1988 or 81. I want to say 81 or 88. I don't know why.
I want to say like 87.
87.
Like Metal Gear's almost been around. Yeah, because like Metal Gear just hit 25th anniversary.
That's right.
So yeah, it started in 87 on the NES. Basically, in that game, Snake goes along again, sneaking around, defeating guys, getting secret passwords, being as stealthy as shit.
Everything pretty much like the
Yeah.
exclamation points above.
Yeah,
the
the exclamation points. It's where everything started. When Kojima came up with the idea of Metal Gear, there was all these other action games where you're just balls to the wall, and he's like, "What if there was an anti-action game, like about sneaking around? And like, what if that's what was important?"
Tactical
Yeah,
espionage.
tactical espionage.
A little slug in the Metal Gear Solid there. Tactical espionage.
And so Snake sneaks around again, destroys the Metal Gear, and then towards the end of the game, he's confronted with Big Boss. When he fights him, Big Boss reveals to him that he's his father, and then Snake kills him because that's the mission. And so then
He tortures him
yeah,
with the lighter and he had to improvise. He had a lighter and like some kind of can.
Yeah.
And burn his ass.
putting him into a coma for 9 years apparently, which is where Metal Gear Solid 5 will take place. Snake at this point believes Big Boss is dead, that he killed him. Do we just skip forward to Metal Gear Solid?
Well, there's a 2, or is it too long of a story? Well, 2,
No.
that's where they have Jack Yeager,
Yeah.
and then Jack Yeager, and then I think after that is when they. Yeah, let's just skip to. You want to skip to Solid then?
Yeah, so basically,
in
in Metal Gear Solid Revenge, Snake's Revenge, he meets Jack Yeager. They're locked up. They're prison buddies.
Wait, which one was a really bad sequel that wasn't like an actual sequel? It was like Metal Gear 2 something.
Yeah, like they remade all the American games and like changed a bunch of shit about it.
So the second one came out, Snake's Revenge, and then that goes to 2000, skipping like a bunch of years.
Yeah.
2005 is the year that Metal Gear Solid, probably the second greatest Metal Gear game
Yeah.
so far. Metal Gear Solid was the first game I told Tyler here.
Oh.
I got it in the fucking the Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut
Demo.
had demo discs for Metal Gear Solid. I remember playing that shit and just going around breaking people's necks because you could like get them as like,
It's like, man, I don't want to put him to sleep.
Nope.
I'm cracking this dude's neck.
There was zero consequences at that point. That was a demo.
It's like pineapples, Thomas pineapples. I was like, dude, he's following me. My footprints. I was like, dude,
Whose
this is
footprints
crazy.
are these?
It's like, yo, I'm trying to hide from this camera, dude. Like, I was like, it blew my mind, dude. And I was like, I got it, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got it like maybe a few years later is when I actually played it.
Yeah.
Like the actual game, and it blew my freaking mind, dude.
I remember my brother got it for his birthday, and he was like, "Oh, Metal Gear Solid. I've never heard of this." I was like, "You have to open this and play it right now." And he's like, "I might take this back." And I was like, "Don't say that. You
Yeah.
have to play this game. I played the demo. It's awesome."
Dude, it blew people's minds.
Yeah.
Some of the moments in that game. I'm just gonna give one away.
Well, let's just go through Metal Gear.
Oh well,
Okay.
Metal Gear is probably the most understandable, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Metal Gear has the most straightforward plot line because everything's sort of revealed to you as it comes. There's not stuff that you have to remember for the next game.
They give you a good, like, nice.
Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid starts out with your Snake. You have to go in, rescue the DARPA chief.
An Alaska base.
Okay, the DARPA chief, did you realize that's Sigint from Metal Gear Solid 3?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The Decoy Octopus.
Yeah.
Oh god, I remember that. I was like,
Yeah. Okay,
wow.
so your weapons officer, Big Boss's weapons officer, would later start the DARPA company or DARPA whatever. He becomes the DARPA chief. Snake is sent in to rescue the DARPA chief. As soon as you sneak in, you find the DARPA chief, you find out that... Fuck, we forgot to talk about Roy Campbell, too.
No, you had to rescue the DARPA chief, the other chairman guy, and to find out if they were capable of launching missiles.
Yeah, it's...
But
so,
all that goes to shit.
So you find out that they're trying to develop the Metal Gear again.
Metal Gear Rex.
Yeah, Metal Gear Rex, which is the new prototype, and apparently it has nuclear launching capabilities, which the old one didn't. They get all worried and shit. Send Snake in. He's supposed to rescue Roy Campbell's...
Rescue Roy Campbell's.
rescue Roy Campbell's...
Ow.
Hurry the fuck up, man.
They have to rescue Roy Campbell's
Daughter.
yeah, daughter.
Sorry.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Sorry. Came out in 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But so rescue his dog. But that's like a sidebar thing. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
by the way, Mariel's. Gonna
Yeah,
be
she's
there.
being held there.
Yeah.
So anyway, as soon as Snake goes down and meets the DARPA chief, he ends up dying for some mysterious reason. He
has,
has
like, a
some
heart
sort of
attack.
freak heart attack.
Yeah.
Snake has no idea what's going on. He busts out Meryl, then all of a sudden there's this weird psychic dude that he sees above her when she runs away.
Yeah, he has like a weird flash. Like,
Yeah.
you see that? It's like, oh, I don't know. Sometimes those nanomachines or whatever.
Yeah. So things start getting all weird for Snake. He goes along, he finds Meryl again. Then all of a sudden he fights Psycho Mantis, and there's way more weird shit going on. There's a psychic dude that has... It's literally one of the most iconic boss battles that has ever been in a video game.
Classic.
It's true.
Yeah, the trick to it was you had to unplug your controller because he could read your thoughts, and you had to plug your controller into the second port and then play the boss battle from there.
So the screen would, like, when you're fighting him, he's like floating around you, and also like, yeah. The screen goes black, and it says what, Kojima or Hideo.
Yeah, Hideo.
And it looks like a TV thing, you know?
Like, you know when you switch sources on a TV and it says up at the top, like, it would just, like, flash and be like, Hideo!
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck is going on with my TV?
Yeah, bro, it's just like, oh shit. And you gotta plug it in, and all of a sudden it comes back, it's like, alright, got it. But the crazy thing, though, too, the other thing that blew people's minds during that boss battle is he read your memory card.
He'd
and
be like,
told
I
you
will
about
detect what games you've been playing. He's like, you like to play Castlevania. And you're like, what? How did he know?
Yeah, he's like, oh. It's like this, like...
He has you, like,
dude.
set your controller down on the table, and he's like, I'm going to use my psychic powers to move your controller. And he just starts vibrating super hard.
It was so great. But you whoop his ass.
Yeah, so you
And
kill him, then you go along to the next part, you get your ass kicked by Sniper Wolf, who is
No, after that battle, it's Vulcan Raven.
Yeah.
Vulcan
No,
Raven.
Vulcan Raven's the first battle.
No, I thought it was... Oh, no, it is the first battle.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Whatever.
because you throw grenades into his tank. And then you fight Vulcan Raven. Or no, after fighting Sniper Wolf. Sniper Wolf shoots the fuck out of Meryl. You have to run away, get a sniper rifle, run back. Her body's been moved. Then you start, like, popping off shots. You beat her. You go over to check the body. Snake gets captured. Then cues the first torture sequence, which was amazing.
So this torture sequence, the way, if they say, I'll give it away though, I'm sorry. You can either, they torture you, but what you choose in it, whether to give up or to not give up.
Determines the secret item that you get at the end of the game.
And there's two endings in this game. So this determines where the spot is, where you like, where the Y, where it crosses here. But it was a great scene. I had a difficult time.
Like,
man.
I remember as a kid, like, I thought I was
Swear.
such a badass because you just have to mash that button as fast as you can, and if you could survive the torture sequence, you were a badass.
Yeah.
And it was just Snake there, shirtless and twitching, having like thousands of volts.
Yeah, Revolver Ocelot's just
Yeah,
like
Revolver
this, like-
Ocelot makes his second appearance back to the Metal Gear Solid games. He is an old ass man at this point.
He's like
he
a
tells you,
gunslinger.
like when he first meets Snake, he's like, "You look like the boss." You get super confused because you're like, "Wait, which boss?"
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh, well, he means Liquid because they're
Yeah,
twins."
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, no, he actually means Big Boss,
Yeah.
who you killed. The game goes along. You fight Liquid. He comes out at you with a Hind D helicopter.
Hind D.
You beat him
With the stinger.
Yeah, you end up rescuing Okay, so the game goes along. You meet Snake's new best friend, Otacon, after you're attacked by a mysterious ninja who ends up being
Gray Fox.
Gray Fox. What was his name?
Jack Yeager.
Yeah, Jack Yeager from Snake's Revenge.
Oh fuck! But we got to mention the fucking medic.
Okay, so we'll just get to that later. So then you go along, and then
After that, you meet Otacon. He helps you out to get through
Yeah.
some missions. He's like a cool guy. You have like a whole team with you with the codex system and all that, and they all help you out. So after that, after the Hind D battle, then I think that's when you fight, and you get into the second base where the actual Metal Gear is. That's when you switch discs.
at
that point.
and then you fight Vulcan Raven again, and he walks around with a giant chain gun, which is also a really badass
He has
fight.
like a giant backpack on,
Just full of infinite ammo.
And he's like talking to you the whole time. The cool thing about that, though, your rations freeze if you stay too long.
Yeah. And so you go through, you beat
Kill
him.
him.
Then you have to use a card decoder that you got in order. So you need 3 keys to shut down Metal Gear, but you only have 1 card key. So the card key actually changes in the temperature that you're at. So you have to run around to different areas in the level and like freeze the card key, and then you have to sprint all the way back and then use it before it gets too unthawed. And then you have to run to like a furnace and then wait there for a little bit, and then it starts to melt.
Yeah.
And you have to run back before it gets too cold.
It's Kojima being Kojima.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then
surprise,
here's the
Just
twist.
put a dash of Kojima on
Yep.
that scene.
Like,
is what we did.
surprise.
And then the giant surprise is you didn't deactivate Metal Gear. You activated it.
Oh,
dude.
shit!
Well, because the card they used, they didn't know how to use it because they needed 3. It's like, we don't get it. What's the trick? And so, like, the whole time Snake was helping them out because they didn't know.
Yeah. And so Snake activates it, gets knocked out, and then you get woken up, and here's Liquid Snake. He challenges you the first fist fight of Metal Gear.
Oh,
and
dude.
it is epic.
On the blimp?
No,
No, dude.
it's on top of Metal Gear Rex.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
so you have Meryl, who's tied up, who's alive or dead. She's in
that's right.
Schrodinger's cat right now. Schrodinger's cat mode right now.
Oh, nice.
Yep, she is in a state of being alive and dead at the same time.
Great.
Kojima.
Kojima. And so you fist fight Liquid, and you knock his ass out. You knock him off of the Metal Gear, and like, oh, okay, he's dead. And then you go over to Meryl, and then depending on if you gave up or not, Meryl will be alive or dead. She's probably going to be alive if you're a badass and you're able to survive the torture
you got the
technique.
strongest thumb in the
yeah,
world.
if you got the strongest, fastest thumb in the world, in the West, then yeah. So she's alive. You make your grand escape with Meryl driving you as you're shooting dudes from a truck, and all of a sudden, here's Liquid Snake again, and he's back on your tail, and then you chase after him, and then at the last second, he's about to kill you, and he just passes over and dies of a heart attack. And you're like, what the fuck
Like all
is
the other-
going
like all
on
the
with
other
this?
guys. All the other guys were
So
dying of the
turns
same
out,
attack.
your medical chief who injected you with Naomi, who injected you with these nanomachines, was Jack Yeager, the Gray Fox's little adopted sister. And she is pissed that you killed Gray Fox in Metal Gear Solid Revenge, and she's been living her entire life to hating Snake to plan her revenge. So she injected him with something called Fox Dye, which is basically this agent that kills people around Snake and will slowly kill him. Fox Dye will later come into effect in Metal Gear Solid
Remember that
4.
term.
So then you have Metal Gear Solid 2, where
Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty, where Snake has survived. He is going to stop the next Metal Gear project. He jumps aboard some tanker where...
It's an oil tanker.
Yeah, an oil tanker where Metal Gear is supposed to be. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, oh my god, Ocelot's there.
Yeah.
But Ocelot lost his left arm in the last game
Yeah.
because the ninja cut it off. But now he has a new arm. And where did he get that arm? From Liquid. What does that arm do somehow?
Control
It takes
him.
over his mind. And he becomes Liquid Ocelot.
No big deal. Just tweaking out because my arm's feeling weird. Then
Yeah.
I turn to somebody else. My voice changes. No
Yeah.
big deal.
Like he all of a sudden just
Kojima.
gains a British accent and starts talking to Snake like he's his brother.
Hello, dear brother.
After he just used to be like an Old West cowboy shooter guy.
Wow.
He still
Yeah.
got the mustache, still got the long hair, looking like Sam Watson.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So
And so
that's the
the
first
tanker explodes, sinking, killing Snake.
By the way, Otacon rejoined them. They started this group that for anti-Metal Gear group, and Otacon is one of the major figures of that. So Otacon joins him again in this mission.
To take down the threat.
Yep.
So then, after Snake dies, we're joined by Raiden, who's everybody's new favorite Snake replacement. So it turns out Raiden is involved in a process of, what if we took someone and ran them through all of the same trials as Snake? Would you turn out with another Snake? Or so you're thinking, because Metal Gear Solid 2 gets really confusing, because it's explained as one thing, but then you find out it was really something else,
Yeah.
but then it was really the first thing, but then it's really about something completely different.
It's like, then what? You know,
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you saying now? Like, are you sure this is what's happening? And they're like, I'm just being super vague about it, but this is probably the most complicated game in terms of story it takes a lot of left turns, and then it confuses you as all hell.
Because what you find out is the president in Metal Gear Solid is actually the third lost clone of Big Boss, Solidus, and he got all of Big Boss's clone or genes, and so he looks exactly like Big Boss, and he's been the president, but nobody noticed that he looked exactly like Big Boss for some reason.
He had the eye patch.
Yeah, he had the eye patch and everything.
Like, no dead giveaway or anything. But.
Yeah, and so he turns out to be the leader of this terrorist organization, and they're trying to create Big Shell, which is a giant platform that would launch Metal Gears.
It is a giant Metal Gear, too, isn't
Yeah, like, it itself is a giant, or you don't have to fight it, it's just like a giant carrier thing.
Yeah, but it's an AI. Oh, it was launching, what were they called? Rexes? Or they had
Rays. Metal Gear Rays, which were the aquatic, because originally they said that they were building the Rays for, the plan was to make a Metal Gear for every type of military, and so the Rexes were going to be for the Army, and the Rays were going to be for the,
Marines.
The Navy.
Yeah.
And so they were showing off all the the Rexes, but then, so, the whole process of, like, it was a repeat of Shadow Moses because Jack is actually a son figure to Solidus because he raised him because Jack was a war orphan.
War orphan, yeah.
Yeah, and so he grew up as a child soldier, and then they were trying to see if you could take a child soldier and turn him into the next Snake because Snake completely emulated Big Boss.
The perfect soldier.
Yeah, the perfect soldier. So they wanted to see if you could make a clone of a clone without making a clone.
And it went awry. But the reason a lot of people don't like Raiden, though, is he did complain a lot.
Yeah.
And then when his girlfriend came into play, it just got more just like melodrama.
Yeah, it was just a lot of listening to them bitching back and forth about like all their drama and shit, and just like, why is your room completely empty? There's no posters on your walls. Because I'm a child soldier. And then it gets a little absurd.
Yeah, and then also you happen to meet Otacon's sister, who's also on the base, and then it's like she dies, and for some reason, and
she gets killed by Vamp, who is a vampire in all sense of the word vampire.
He's an immortal as well.
Yeah, he is an immortal vampire in the Metal Gear series, which makes zero sense.
He's oddly very.
No, he is an openly gay character.
Yeah, I didn't want to say.
If you go through the codex, he's like, you actually hear that he's an openly gay character.
Oh yeah. Oh god, codec conversations. That's a whole. See, this is why Metal Gear is a big game. It's so many Easter eggs.
Yeah,
you know?
because like for every bit of dialogue, then you can listen to even more stuff behind the scenes, and like
you can shoot a bird and then they'll complain about it. Like they will follow you. But so Metal Gear, going back to Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, so then at the end of Metal Gear 2, halfway through, you actually find out that there's this guy Pliskin who's following around Raiden and helping him. Well, he looks a lot like Snake.
Yeah.
Turns out he is Snake.
He just happened to be on the base.
Whoop-de-doo!
Yeah.
Snake didn't die. He faked his own death so that way he'd go even deeper undercover. And then he ends up helping Raiden, and they bring down all the Metal Gears, and he starts chasing after Liquid Ocelot because he has to stop Liquid because he's trying to continue shit.
Very dramatic. The ray goes down in the water, then Snake just
dives after a whole Metal Gear ray.
Yeah.
By himself to stop it. It's epic.
The giant thing crashes into Manhattan, and you're fighting like next to the George Washington statue. It's very like then a whole like economic story happens, like Sons of Liberty explaining that whole like what the meaning behind it is, which is a group of people investing in just weapons and all that stuff. So it's deep.
Yeah, it leads into talking about the war economy and how you can use wars to fuel more wars, and then basically countries using all of their resources to buy armies so that they can hold off other armies which are just going to create more wars. And so they're constantly going to have to go back to these PMCs, which is what Big Boss was originally trying to stop.
Yeah.
By creating his Outer Heaven group so that they could just end all wars by being such a large force deterrent that they would just be the master deterrent to stop everyone else.
Yeah.
Because we don't want, like, they'd rather have everyone fighting him in Outer Heaven than all the different countries fighting themselves.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people who took his philosophy and just went a different way with it. They just strayed from like his whole goal, which is what Tyler said, but it didn't work in the end. But it's a shitstorm.
Yeah. So then here comes Metal Gear Solid 4, which
between 2 and 4 though is Rising, with Raiden explaining what happened.
No, Rising happens after.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 years after. So then you have Metal Gear Solid 4. Snake is back in action, but he's
This is the one I've played, so I can actually understand what's going on.
Mike, here, chime in. Tell us something about Metal Gear Solid 4.
All right, so Metal Gear Solid 4, it was the first PlayStation 3 game I got, and I got it with my PlayStation 3. Got a $100 gift card when I bought a quote-unquote Blu-ray player, which is my PS3, and I bought Metal Gear. So that was the deciding factor in me getting a PS3, even though I had played 0 Metal Gear games before that. Anyways, so let me tell you what I got from Metal Gear Solid 4. There's an egg in every the beginning of every chapter. The graphics are really good. The enemy bosses are based after real-life models that are also real-life babes. And there's hella funny Easter eggs, like making Rose's boobs bounce. And then also there's some storyline in there, but I don't remember any of it. So that was my take on Metal Gear 4. I highly recommend it. Highly. It was great.
Yeah, so basically, those eggs...
Eggs, man.
The scrambled eggs represent war. And that war is never ending because which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Very Japanese. Very Kojima.
Yeah.
Scrimp.
Good, yeah.
Scrimps came first.
But out of all of it, it had the longest cutscenes I've ever experienced.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was half cutscenes.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Half of your playtime is cutscenes. I'm not even joking.
It was Kojima trying to be like, he's being a director. This was probably his most cinematic game.
Yeah, I honestly don't even want to go that deep into Metal Gear Solid 4 just because it honestly answers so many questions that have built up in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 and all the stuff before it and between it. They've created more questions like afterwards because there's more big boss questions to ask. What exactly happened like between Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker, and like Snake that we all know.
The very important area where they took his blood to make the 3 Solidus, Liquid, and Solid.
Yeah, Solid, Liquidus, or Solid, Liquid, and Solidus.
So that's just answering what happened in Infantory's area. So, but it's a very important area, though.
Yeah.
As you can tell from the sick-ass trailer that people should check out, by the way.
Yeah.
Please go watch
Phantom
that.
Pain.
You get to see... Okay, so we didn't really talk about it, but Roy Campbell is the man on the codec who is like Snake's commanding officer and then becomes Raiden's commanding officer.
Did they meet in Portable Ops? Or,
yeah, Portable Ops.
They met in Portable Ops.
Yeah, he is the first... POW that Big Boss rescues.
Yeah.
And so he ends up joining your force.
He's assembling a crew which is called Fox.
Yeah.
Which they get someone of the group named, which Kojima is highly known for.
Later becomes Foxhound.
No. After Fox, remember, like he.
Yeah. There's the Fox unit. He defects from it, and then
called it Foxhound.
Yeah, Foxhound.
Because he's trying to stop Fox. Because they're doing their own. It was Zero who started that group with him.
Yeah.
From Metal Gear Solid 3. And he's like, oh, I don't believe in what you say anymore. He's trying to do he's just trying to make money. And so he sticks with Fox, and then he's like, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to make my own group, and I'm going to stop you. And then he created Foxhound because Zero controlled the government, I believe. Yeah, it was some weird shit like that. But that's why.
And they had the Philosopher's Legacy, which was a huge sum of money from World War II. It was like the
Chinese,
the
Russians.
It was like all of the Axis powers put all of their money together, and it was in one giant group fund called the Philosopher's Legacy, which was what they were going to fuel something with. But basically, it fell into the hands of Volgin. Or it fell into the hands of one person, and so they were trying to access it.
Damn.
And with that, they created that. See that also there's a lot of split in the story there as well because the girl Eva turns out to be a double agent who was working for Russia, who was working for helping the Americans out, but turned out to be working for the Chinese, and so the Philosopher's Legacy ended up in her hands, going to the Chinese.
Yeah.
And so
That's some M. Night Shyamalan shit. Dude.
wait, isn't that what you...
Woody twist.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good twist.
Okay, if you really want to talk about double secret, double triple agents, let's talk about Ocelot.
Ocelot. Okay, Ocelot.
Revolver Ocelot has been the biggest player in all of the Metal Gear.
He's a snake in the grass.
Yeah, he is the snake in the grass.
Is his motto, don't hate the player, hate the game?
Yeah.
All right.
His name is Nah. Cool.
So, like, just starting out, when Snake was... okay, when Big Boss was supposed to meet Codename Adam, that was actually Ocelot. But the drop zone was compromised, so he never got to actually introduce himself to Snake. Ocelot, since then, has been just working in the shadows. You thought that he was, like, trying to, like, stop Snake, but really he was just observing him and without making contact with Big Boss.
But he was also the most adamant about keeping the boss's legacy alive.
Yeah.
Probably. He probably had the most clear vision of it.
Yeah, he looked at Big Boss and just idolized what he was doing. His whole war philosophy, like, it struck a chord with Big Boss, or with Ocelot. Because one thing that hasn't been confirmed, but it's completely obvious, the boss, who Snake killed, his original leader, had a child who was taken away from her. The timeline matches up, and the boss's child is Ocelot.
Okay.
And so Ocelot is the son, is the son of the boss, and then Snake is also the son of the boss. So they're basically brothers, but Big Boss is his older brother. And so, like, he looks up to him and completely idolizes him and helps him continue his goals.
By the way, one of the bosses you fight in Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, is your dad. His name is the Sorrow.
Yeah.
So, but it looks like a bald snake. He's got like the crowning and all that. It's pretty cool. But that was a great sequence as well.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons too. The boss had like a bunch of trouble. I think her codename was the Joy.
Yeah.
The Joy. That was her battle nickname. But yeah, she ended up getting with the Sorrow, and they ended up making this super baby who was Ocelot and Jack. I think his name was Jack as well.
I don't know. There's so many Jacks.
But yeah, there's a lot of reoccurring themes, man. But the Metal Gear Solid universe is...
Yeah, like, all of the games honestly have the same formula, but it is just redone in such a way that it's just, like, it emulates the last game. It's just, like...
Enough.
Yeah,
Not
enough.
too much.
There's always a chase sequence, too, when you gotta shoot at somebody.
There's always a chase sequence. There's always a torture sequence.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I remember the one from 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really intense, actually.
And there's always a sniper battle, it seems.
Yeah, there's a sniper battle.
Dude, Sniper Fox,
end.
or Sniper Wolf in 4.
Yeah.
The girl, the black chick, that's hella funny.
Did you take pictures?
Dude,
Did you take pictures?
that is so funny. There's so many
hot,
silly
dude.
Easter eggs, dude. There's, like, okay, when you, like, defeat the boss, there's, like, a weird, like, segment in between, like, actual defeating and, like, knocking them out, where they're basically chasing you and trying to get to you and, like, fucking hurt you or whatever. Well, you can either sedate them or you can shoot them and then you can, like, finish them. But if you don't touch them for 2 minutes, you have to wait an entire 120 seconds. They go into, like, photograph me mode where they pose for you if you take your camera out. And they're, like, based after models in real life. It's just such a, like,
Yeah,
Kojima,
so they just babe out at you.
It's such a Kojima thing. Like, it's hella funny, though, and it's cool. And the same thing when you shake the controller when you're on the comm with Rose. So funny, her boobs just jiggle.
Oh, dude,
hard.
what about the Toko, little frog?
Yeah, the
So there's like in a bunch of these
Gargle,
games
gargle.
as well. There's like little Easter eggs. Like if you get them all, you get a prize at the end, man. Like in one of them was these
Infinite
little
ammo.
frogs. These little frogs, man. Then they're all scattered all over the place, and some of them are just in the hardest spots to find. But you can put on a camouflage to help you find them, which is some nerdy shit.
Yeah, camouflages played a big... Okay, so Metal Gear Solid Tactical Espionage is always about not being seen. In the first 2 games, it was just hiding behind things and sneaking
Knocking on
around,
walls.
knocking on walls to, like, distract guys so you could run in certain directions.
What was that?
And the worst case scenario, you just put a box on yourself. In the first game, there was only one box. In the second game, they put in different boxes, so it'd be like... If you were in a food crate box, you could hide by other food crate boxes, so they were less likely to spot you. Inversely, if you're like in an electronics box and you're hiding next to a bunch of food crates, they're going to recognize that that's really weird. And so In the third game, they changed it up so that you could put on different sets of camo and different face paints,
Yeah,
and depending on your surroundings,
That was really
they worked
fun.
better.
That was cool.
You know what, Cam? I never used the fire one.
Yeah,
never
there
used
was
the
never
fire
a
one.
good reason to
But,
use the
no,
fire.
I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is the one I completed all of it. Like
I've
it
played
was
that
great
game
of a
so many
I
times.
collected
Like,
all the camouflages. Like, oh man, the face paints.
like, okay, my friend Cooper, me, and our friend Jeremy, we used to get together, all three of us would have TVs, and we would all start Metal Gear Solid 3 at the same time and just play
what?
together, and it would just be like, who can beat it first? Who can, like, do all this shit? And, like, after a while, you'd be like, oh shit, I'm falling behind everybody, I gotta hurry up and get through this.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It was so much fun. Like, all of those games are just so cinematic, and, like, it's my favorite story that's ever been told in video games, just because, like, it's so deep.
As a side note, you haven't played through Mass Effect at all.
No, but you
No,
got.
I've played Mass Effect 1,
Through the whole thing?
at least 3/4 through it.
Well,
No, like, I like Mass Effect, I'm just saying that, like, Metal Gear Solid is my top.
Yeah.
The way that, like, all of them connect to each other, and, like, just the way the storyline works and builds upon itself,
Yeah.
and that there's still places that you can fit in story, and it's only gonna strengthen the story of every game that came before it.
yeah.
And the engine is so great too.
So
They're
looking.
always good games. They're always good games, dude. They're never shitty. Kojima's never put out. He's put out confusing games, but he's
Yeah.
never put out a shitty game, dude.
Like, all of Kojima's games have just so much heart in them, and, like, they always have a message, and, like, they say something, and, like, even the, like, Kojima's tried to step away from the Metal Gear Solid series. He's just like, this is my last one, I'm done, and, like,
He said
I'm
that-
ready
he
to
said that
step
with
away.
3.
Yeah, he said that with 3,
He said it
and then he
with
said it
3.
with 4,
Yeah.
and then he said there won't be a 5, and he's like, okay, there's a possibility there might be a
He
5.
said, "Oh, there's gonna be a 5, but we don't know what it's about yet."
Yeah.
That's what he said. He's like, "Yeah, we don't know." Kojima's such a cool guy, man. Like, I put him up there with Miyamoto, man. Like,
Yeah. He's
Kenji
such a
Inafune,
visionary.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's still some good Japanese guys out there making good games.
Yeah.
But, oh man, Kojima is definitely still one of them, man. Like, his games still get some press, dude.
It's just,
Did anybody play Acid?
I played a little bit of Acid,
I
but,
didn't
like,
like it, man.
I couldn't get into it. I
What
didn't.
game?
It was a
hard
PSP
game.
game. It was a card-based game.
Card-based tactics game.
Acid.
Metal Gear Acid.
It was just called Acid?
Well,
Metal
the
Gear-
I
no,
was like
Metal
an
Gear Acid.
exclamation point. Remember that? It's like an
Yeah.
exclamation point.
Metal Gear AC exclamation point D.
Oh, okay.
ACD.
So weird. Yeah,
Dude.
I didn't play it.
I don't know. I love card-based games, so I was like, I watched Sean play it a bit, and he said it was really fucking hard. Really hard.
It was hard. Like, it had all the elements in there. It was just like you had to build a really good deck, and, like, it was just a game that it wanted you to play it a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, you could perfect your way through it, and then, like, by the end of the game, you can, like, go back and, like, you'll just have an ultimate deck, and you can just roll
Right.
through levels.
Nice.
That sounds cool, though.
Was there a story? I think it
Um,
was just a game, right? It wasn't. There was no story.
no, like, it has its own story. It's like a side mission that Snake did involving a group who got their hands on the Metal Gear or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there were also the Game Boy games, which had to do with, like,
yeah.
there was the Metal Gear GBA. I can't remember what it was, but
Game Boy, man.
like, most of those were side stories. But, like, as they've gone along, like, Portable Ops and Peace Walker, like, Peace Walker for a while was Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Like, Hideo Kojima was just like, this is canon. Like, to me, this is the next step in Metal Gear, even though it goes backwards. Like, it was such a weird step that they went Metal Gear Solid 1,
It
2
was-
went into the future, and then 3 went way back into the past, but it made things make sense.
Kojima, man, like, probably the most solid game on the PSP. To be honest with you. That game is amazing. Like, for being a handheld game, that has a lot of story and a lot of
Yeah.
Like, it has the original actors in it. He's like
That's
no,
tight.
didn't
Like,
put
I've-
no stops for that game.
I remember I was playing Portal Ops, and, like, you go out, you capture different soldiers, and, like, you train guys up. All of a sudden, like, you have a squad. You start recognizing certain members in your squad, and one theme in Metal Gear Solid is there's always a Johnny character. And Johnny has literally been...
Oh, he shit
Johnny's...
himself.
Yeah, he shits himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's the dude who shits himself. Johnny's great-grandfather was in Metal Gear Solid 3. And then you hear about his, like, and then he had a son, who then had a son who's Johnny, who was in Metal Gear Solid, 1. And then, like, he's the guard who gets knocked out and, like, poops himself a lot.
This is my son.
Yeah. And so, like, in Metal Gear Solid 3, he's like, My dad's dad was Johnny. His dad was Johnny. I'm Johnny. My son's gonna be Johnny. And then you meet those Johnnies.
That's
And then,
Kojima
so
being
like
Kojima.
the first soldier that you get turns out to be Johnny, and you like convert him. And he starts out as an enemy, and then like you convert him, and all of a sudden he's just like, you're actually a hella respectable dude, big boss. I will follow you. And then like you get his rank up, and like he's with you the whole time. You go through the game, and then at a super pivotal cutscene, spoilers, Johnny takes a bullet for you. He like jumps in the way, saves Big Boss's life, and I was like, Johnny, no! And then, like, he's just gone. You can't use him anymore for the rest of the game. I literally went through every single mission up to that point with Johnny on my squad, and he was a pivotal character, and then he got capped and was gone. Like, that literally hurt me. I was just like, oh my god, I literally lost the squad character. Like, I'm never getting him back. I'll never see Johnny again. Like, that literally hurt me worse than Eris dying.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, I didn't give a shit when Eris died. Tifa
Damn.
was still there.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tig old
Yeah,
bitties.
tig old biddies.
Tig old bitties.
Dude, Eris was tight though, and I did use her my first time. I was just like, "This bitch is cool. Like, I'm doing my thing."
Let me heal
And then
a bunch
I
of
just
shit
remember
up.
I got into I don't even remember what the fuck it is, but you're in that weird crystal area, and then all of a sudden you're just kicking it, and Sephiroth's just like, and I was like, "Yeah, right." And then I like looked at my party, and I was like, "Oh, bitch is gone. This is no good, dude." I was like, "This is not.
This is
good.
no bueno, dude.
Yeah.
No.
That fucked me.
I felt bad at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, man. Like, I like choked up a little bit. Like, I told this guy, I was like, yo, I kind of cried a little bit.
Dude, I went over to Jocelyn's house and literally spent like 2 to 3 nights in a row at his house just so I could beat Metal Gear Solid 4.
I don't remember that. Was I playing Counter-Strike?
Probably.
Tight.
But like, it was like, hey Mike, I'm gonna play Metal Gear Solid. You're like, okay. Hey, is it cool if I spend the night? Yeah, it's fine. And then I stayed over and I played the game and I was like, hey, is it cool if I stay the night again? He's like, yeah, cool. And then I kept playing, and then the next one I was like, is it cool if I finish the game? And you're like, yeah, dude, I beat Metal Gear Solid at like 2 a.m. and then watched the last cutscene till like 5 a.m.
It is so long, dude.
And I just remember like finishing it and just be like, dude, that was so worth it. And I just like went to your room, you're like, dude, did you finally beat it? And I was like, yeah. What time is it? 5. Sweet.
I do remember that. I was definitely playing WoW. Because I remember I went to bed, like, literally just a little bit before that. Because I was in that stage where I was just playing World of Warcraft for 18 hours a day.
Dude, not to put, like, Mass Effect 3 down, but Metal Gear Solid 4 had a sick ending.
Yeah.
It was like, ooh, man.
It was so satisfying though. Like,
it
that's
really
the thing
was,
about the
dude.
Metal Gear Solid games is like, it's such a build up and then everything is worth it and paid off.
Yeah, dude. Here's how much I like this game. I have the soundtrack to 3. That was a great soundtrack.
Dude, that's what I wake up to. Do you remember Snake vs. Ladder?
Huh?
Snake vs. Ladder?
Oh, with the monkeys?
No. Not the monkeys. Okay, after you beat the Fury, remember how you have to, like, climb up the long-ass ladder?
Oh, dun.
And it just plays the instrumental version of the theme. It is just hella epic as you're just like, yeah, I'm getting towards the top.
Dude, I got bored. I started just looking around. I was like, all right, here we go. But it was so I was like, damn, dude, Kojima. What a master, dude.
Yo.
Like, to hit that right there when the music hits and you're just going up, you're like, hell yeah. Dude.
We laddering it up.
Because, like, it's literally just a long-ass ladder climb, but it's just like, and then all of a sudden,
You're climbing
like,
a mountain pretty much.
yeah,
dude.
it's like you're climbing a mountain, like, it starts out silent, and then the music just slowly builds. This is another one of those scenes I should have mentioned on our music podcast, because, like, that was a pivotal point. That was pretty powerful, but, like, it sets the mood, and it's just like, it's a long space, you get your head clear, and it's like, okay, as soon as you come out, you're like, now I'm at the boss where the Shago hut is.
Yeah.
This is the final stretch of my mission.
Yeah, you're on a mountain at that
You
point.
just know.
Also, in Snake Eater, you can eat animals, and that's so deep. That's another deep. Every game is deep, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is just, you can kill animals, you can eat them, or there's mushrooms.
Different
there's
animal,
plants.
like, and each animal, like, Snake had a preference.
Yeah.
So, like, you would eat things, try things, and then you'd be like, oh, I don't like that.
See, that's what I did too. When I ate the food, I'd codec it. and I want to hear what they wanted to say.
Yeah, because after you'd eat it, then you could talk to people about it, and they'd be like, "Oh, Snape, that's a Kenyan mangrove crab. You just ate that." It's like, it's fucking disgusting.
So, you caught a fish? Like, yeah, it's pretty good in certain parts. Like, tastes kind of good.
Yeah, like there's one part like you eat mushrooms, and then all of a sudden your batteries go up, and then Snake's just like, "Yeah, I ate these mushrooms, and my batteries went up." They're like,
huh?
"Well, I mean, some mushrooms have bioluminescence, but..." He's like, "Yeah, and that's what makes my batteries go up." And they're like, "Yeah, whatever you think, dude."
That's hella awkward.
It's
Subsistence though.
Ooh.
Dude,
Okay,
Yeah.
the best thing... Okay, one of the best things about Metal Gear Subsistence was the online
Dude,
multiplayer.
it was too much fun.
It was,
It was so bad.
Because it was third-person Metal Gear fighting other people, and like if you laid down with your knife out and stabbed someone once, that was an instant kill.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I got on that.
As long as you hit it in the
bait.
back. As
Yeah.
long as you were on their back half, it was an instant kill. What did you say?
Oh, dude, by the time I got Metal Gear Solid 4, it was too late. They already shut down the server.
Yeah.
I got there too late.
Dude.
I felt so bummed out. I was like,
I know.
fuck.
I know we talked about this on the food podcast, but you literally came over. It must have been 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Every single day, we would make giant ice cream sundaes with everything in them, and we would play Subsistence until like 7 or 8 at night, and then you went home. Like,
Yeah.
it was so much fun, dude.
That was the best.
It's
Like,
just dumb. Like, being able to see around corners is the nastiest thing you can ever do.
yeah, because
in a
like it's
shooter.
literally like the same Metal Gear Solid angle. So like you know how big of cheats it gave you.
Yeah.
So like you'd be like running around and like people would be over here and you had a huge advantage. Like okay, this dude's over here.
Yeah, you literally just walk out of the corner with the gun ready, and you're just like, shots, 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 you're dead. Like, I don't know. It was stupid, but it was so fun. And
Yeah.
like, there was a bunch of dedicated servers where it's like knife only and like CQC only, and it
Yeah.
made the game just really fun
Yeah.
because people wanted to play it like Metal Gear. They didn't want to have stupid like see around wall like a
Yeah.
shooter game.
Yeah.
You know.
There
Just
was
like-
one super good mode. It was Snake versus or something like that, or like something versus Snake. And it was basically, it was a free-for-all in the first round.
Yeah.
Then whoever was last standing got to be Snake. And it was
Yes.
everyone against Snake.
Yes.
And so, like...
And he had like super good instinct abilities. And
Yeah,
stuff
like
that.
Snake got a radar and like most of his shit, and like you could literally lay out magazines and it would disable someone for like
What?
10 seconds because
was
they'd have to
so
stop and read
sick.
through the
Why are you
magazine.
telling me? You're just bumming me out, man. That sounds like a lot.
No,
of
okay. If you get the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, play Peace Walker. The online for that still works.
really?
There is still, yeah, and the online for that is really fun.
You know what? I think I will still buy. I will still buy. I haven't bought that unfortunately yet because I still have the games on PS2.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna wait till Metal Gear Solid 5 comes out because I'm sure it's gonna have online features, and
Yeah.
I can only imagine. What
If
that's
not
gonna
that, Ground Zeroes will.
be. Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at the trailer for Ground Zeroes, it looks like it's just going to be like giant open world Metal Gear Solid missions.
Oh, dude.
That sounds so sick.
Yeah.
The ways you can get to your point is just like unlimited, dude.
Yeah.
You
Metal
can get
Gear-
in there any way you want. It's
Yeah.
so sick.
Like, you can go in through vents, you could use the loud, noisy direct route, or you could just, like, sneak all the way around the outside of the base and then come in from this way.
They kind of did that in the first level of Metal Gear Solid 4, where they gave you like a choice of which way you wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
That blew me. That blew me away, man. I was like, oh my god, dude, that's sick. That's choice, but like, I feel like that's a pretty cool thing to do, though, and I'm glad they're doing it.
It was funny because, like, the first time I went through Metal Gear Solid 4, I was like, I just want to play this for the story. So I just took out my gun, customized it, so it was just fucking Call of Duty, and I shot my way through everything.
Because fuck trying to tranquilize people.
Yeah, like,
that takes too much work.
It seriously hurt me because I was like, I want to play this game long enough to, like, sneak through and, like, get through hella stealthily, but I was like, you know, I can only
it
stay at
works.
Mike's house so many nights.
Dude, I played Metal Gear Solid 3 at this guy, or 4 at this guy's house. Remember that? That's the first time I played it, man.
Yeah, you were in love.
Dude, Mike was hooking people up with the Metal Gear Solid 4.
Hell yeah.
Well, you hooked me up on the, what was that game? Rising. I'm gonna definitely get that. I mean, like, count me in with Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I can hate it all I want, but I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Fuck, I love that game.
I think Metal Gear's like, I think it's just a really solid series because it really does. There's no games like it.
Yeah.
I've literally like the closest thing I can think of would be like a Splinter Cell style game.
Yeah.
Because those games are supposed to be kind of special opsy, but at the same time, just like no game is like as complete
It makes fun of itself.
in every
Yeah.
way. Like,
And that's-
just like all the like silly hidden things and like the attention to detail and just like his pride. Like you can tell that he just takes hella pride in those games, and it's the reason I played Metal Gear 4. That like, that's the reason I'm decent at the Hitman game that I'm playing now. It's just like I can. Like, even though I can press space, like, hold space in that game and, like, see what all is going on and, like, see where, like, you know, hidden things, but still it's like, I played Metal Gear, like, I know how to be stealthy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And another good thing on the Metal Gear series, I'm gonna say it, they're perfect games. They're perfect games. Like, they might have some flaws, but in terms of like how much time you can spend in the world is like ridiculous. You can choose to go through without killing people.
I love that.
Or you can go just killing a bunch of people, like or you can just go around trying to find all the hidden stuff too. Like there's gonna be hidden stuff everywhere, and you can just find it and just like observe it. Like in Metal Gear Solid 2, I remember the posters of the girls,
Yeah.
and if you knocked on a certain spot, it would like you'd hear the alert thing like ding. It's because like, oh my god, yeah, those games are polished, they're perfect. The Easter eggs Kojima is with the camera and the ghosts. Like you had a camera. And if you went around certain spots and you took pictures, there'd be the ghosts of the people who worked on the game.
Damn.
Yeah.
Kojima's in the girls' bathroom, I think. He's just like,
Yeah.
very Japanese thing, man. But that's what blew me away, man. Just like the production crew is like interacting with the player like directly.
Yeah.
Like even in Metal Gear Solid 4, there was a heavy theme of like they were pretty much talking about you killing them.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. I'm like, are you seriously like? You're talking about me. It's like, yeah, this guy is just, people go around killing just countlessly without even saying anything. They'll kill these, you know, these heroes and all that stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, you're talking about fucking me, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Kojima, what are you doing right now, man? I'm like, it just blew me away. That's the other thing. Metal Gear Solid 4 blew me away just because of the fact they were breaking I want to say fourth wall.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
you. And like, I don't know anybody else who does that. I think he kind of started the whole thing like,
Yeah, the way that they just talk so directly, and it's like they talk to the audience, to the player, and just like they're just trying to like expand everybody's mind, and it's just like the stuff that it says about war.
Yeah.
Just like he's taken a really good stance and like shown like how he feels.
and it's only getting more understandable.
Yeah,
Because he's fine tuning his idea. It went from going crazy, and then like now he's starting to fine tune his idea.
yeah,
And I'm only can get more excited for it because
Mhm.
it's only going to be better. You're never going to get disappointed with a Metal Gear Solid game. Honestly, Kojima won't let that happen.
ever. No, like
It's his baby.
he has so much in stake in those that he just can't let those down. Like that's why he keeps coming back to him.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like he tries to step down and he wants to be like, I'm gonna pass the reins. Someone else can do Metal Gear, but then
They'll
he's
mess
just
it
like,
up, though. Yeah.
no, I could do that so much.
Metal Gear Solid 3 was a producer for a while, and he's like, oh, guess what? Metal Gear. He's also a director now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's also writing it too. It's like, oh, okay, it's he's doing it again. But then with Rising, though, man, I know he's just a producer, but that's why I don't want to. I don't know if I should, but I'm gonna buy it now.
No, it's worth playing. Like it's super filthy. Like the storyline, you can tell it's very Metal Gear. It's
Right.
just some of the acting to it is really weird. And I mean, it's the Raiden character,
Right.
but it's still worth playing.
Yeah. So it just sounds interesting to me because I think Platinum Games did it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Platinum. What else did they do? They did.
Anarchy Reigns.
Did they? No. Who did? I think that might be Grasshopper. Is Shadow of the Damned?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got off topic there. I'm sorry. I was just like seeing what I've been playing.
Word.
But yeah, Metal Gear Solid,
shout outs
man.
or questions Metal Gear related, you guys?
Chad, what is your final word on Metal Gear, Chad?
Yeah, Chad. We need some thoughts from you. How do you feel about Metal Gear?
Just
Well, I've
spill your guts,
Never
really.
really played Metal Gear, so I tried playing the one for the NES and I didn't like it.
It was hard back then. Like
It
I
was
remember
really
being
hard.
a little baby child playing that game and only like
Yeah.
just restarting it.
I don't know.
Super NES games were hard, or Nintendo games were hard though.
Yeah,
They were
that's for
all
sure.
hard.
I don't know. Stealth games just were never really my thing, so I don't know. It just seemed like it was too much of a time-consuming thing, and I'm really impatient because I have ADD. So like, I was always a fan of the action puzzlers like Lumines and shit. So I don't know. It just didn't really interest me, which is why I'd never really played the Final Fantasy games either. So yeah,
Level
Like-
grinding isn't your thing.
not really. No. Like I mean, I played the original Pokemon games, but that's completely off topic. But yeah, I don't know. the storylines are cool. Like, if they ever made a Metal Gear movie, I'd fucking watch it. That's for sure. So, I don't know. I'm just more of a fan of the storylines, honestly, than anything. I'd rather hear about that.
I at least you like the story.
And
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
Kojima's Fox engine that he developed, like, it just looks so fucking good.
Apparently,
man.
it's like it has a way that they just scan real world objects and then put them into the engine.
Yeah,
Kojima.
it's crazy. And, like, I mean, this isn't, well, I guess it is kind of on topic, but, I love how the Phantom Pain trailer, like, the teaser trailer was leaked, like, how many months ago was it? Like 3 or 2 months ago? And then, like, the next day, you posted an article where somebody filled in the gaps
negative
of
space,
the negative
yes.
space, and you were like,
wow.
oh, it's Metal Gear 5.
Yeah.
And then, like, last week, they announced, quote unquote,
Yeah.
that Metal Gear 5 is actually the Phantom Pain. And I was like,
Sick.
yeah, we kind of
Yeah.
knew that, but thank you for making it official.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice try, Kojima.
Yeah, like,
Surprise!
Silly guy.
he's like, haha, did you not know that? Like, I never played the game, but I kind of already knew that.
Just
So.
popping out like surprise.
But yeah, so
What about news as far as games go? I saw one thing, but I think it was an April Fool's joke because it was from a European website, and it technically said it was posted on April 1st. And there's a website called Beta Cake, and they actually used to be very active and have updates on all kinds of games that aren't out yet. But they haven't posted anything since like February 8th, and then they posted something today saying, "Oh, like sorry, we're not doing it anymore." But like I said, it was posted on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day,
Right.
which is again, tomorrow's April Fool's Day.
it is.
So happy Easter to everybody, and
Yeah,
happy
happy
April
Easter.
Fool's Day. Don't believe anything you hear on the internet except for if it came directly from Final Boss.
I wonder what Google's gonna say, like what they're gonna do, because they do something every year, don't they?
Somebody said it was supposed to be a tribute to Chavez, or who's the revolutionary guy that everybody
Che
wears
Guevara?
his shirt. Thank
Che
you,
Guevara.
Che Guevara.
Yeah. Grant made me watch a movie of that, and I hated it.
Oh wait, the two-parter with Benicio del
Yep.
Toro. That
The
was a
Benicio.
boring.
Yeah, that was the
good
worst.
soundtrack though. Good
Yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah, it's a good soundtrack, but that movie's friggin' boring.
Just all the gosh dang revolutionary commies, just like loving it.
Word.
It's like he's a hero.
Any other game updates? Oh, I think I might have mentioned this last podcast, but they're doing a Sonic Cross Mega Man or Sonic Cross Capcom fighting game, and I think it's Sonic Cross Mega Man fighting game.
Wait, Sonic?
Sonic the Hedgehog Cross Mega, aka Rockman.
What?
Yeah, and I know we also talked about the Resident Evil.
Ooh.
It's Resident Evil Left 4 Dead crossover. Yeah.
God, what are they doing in Japan? I think it started with Tekken Cross. What was it?
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
Capcom? No, well, technically Marvel vs. Capcom in the original one.
Oh, that's right. Fuck, you got me there.
But yeah. Any other game news?
I think I did have something that I wanted to say on that, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. I don't know. I've got absolutely nothing. Still don't like Halo. That's news, I guess. I still don't like the Halo franchise.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Give me some there.
Yeah, there we go.
Way to go.
Yeah. I don't know. Marshall's been doing a lot of the posting. Also, I'd like to make a shout out to Marshall, aka Keeper,
Shout out to Keeper Marshall.
for taking on the responsibility of our Facebook account. Like, he's doing
That guy's
real-
a keeper.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is, but he's, I just want to say, like, hey man, really appreciate what you're doing for us. It's awesome. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Doing
Yeah,
awesome.
for real, man.
you're killing it.
All right, so
Killing
I
it.
can't believe we've been splurging this long about Metal Gear, but I mean, I knew I could do it. Like,
Yeah.
Metal Gear is just that
Literally,
passionate a
we
game.
asked
You're
you
a
to
machine gun,
you to
dude.
tell us the most general, brief overview of the series.
I
And
said
it
quick
took-
overview.
A quick
Yeah,
overview,
sure.
and I
There's no
looked
quick overview.
at the time, and it was like 40 minutes in, and then I looked a while later, and it was an hour and 20 minutes. In,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, machine gun, man. I was trying to keep up, man.
it's tight though.
I was trying to keep it going, but like, there's so many like points to hit.
Just
It's
many.
easy,
Yeah.
it's easy to miss something that seems small at first in the
Yeah.
one game.
Yeah,
then
and then you get into the next
a
one like,
bigger
oh
thing.
shit, I forgot to talk about this
Oh,
character
this
from
is-
back then.
Speaking of Joni, he was a very stupid character up until 4. He was very
Yeah.
important. he marries Meryl.
So, given all that storyline, what can we expect from Metal Gear 5?
What we know is it takes place during a time that Big Boss was in a coma. So he's been in 2 comas. So it's going to have something to do with when he was in a coma out for Les Terrible Enfants.
Les Infants
Infants Terrible Terrible.
The Bieber Army.
Yeah, those guys.
So this is
And so like that weird sequence where he's like all drugged up and like being like woken up by the dude who's completely bandaged and is like, come on, get up.
Yeah.
I read something and I agree with what the guy said. That's him in a coma getting out of a coma.
Oh, okay.
So like it's
Yeah,
gonna be
I-
him like getting up and then like pulling himself out of it and then like escaping the hospital or whatever. And when he
agree.
escapes, like that's him waking up in the hospital.
Why is it? The other thing though is it's so like it's of course the trailer, but like why is it burning and all that? It's like somebody trying. Do they understand or do they know that he's there in the hospital? Because then you saw that burn guy and I think it's Vulcan. He's just like a charred up Vulcan. He might have survived. He looks like it. Like,
Yeah.
But it could be like another boss character. But it's obviously gonna be a boss character. But I think it's Vulcan.
Yeah.
Because you see this guy who's like super burnt up. He just looks like skin and shit. It's just and he just kind of turns around and he says something. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that I think that's Vulcan.
And then like there's all the like flaming whales like
I don't know how-
in the sky and
That's
it's like
I bet
that's
that
just Metal Gear, baby.
I bet that just has to, like, in my mind, I mean, obviously I have no fucking idea, but in my mind, I'm just like, the only thing that could be is, like, coma shit. Like,
Yeah.
shit you see after you're in a coma, like,
That's what I thought, too.
Giant
Yeah.
flaming whales, flaming unicorn riding warriors, like...
yeah,
Yeah,
like
because like in the trailer they were like they were like blending those things together. Like the horse was on fire, but then it wasn't, and like it would make that weird like smooth transition from like a horse being on fire to it not being on fire. And like I think Mike's got it like hit the nail
Yeah.
right on the head. Like I think that's just him.
Yeah,
like,
that's the
still-
coma sequence.
Yeah, like him still kind of like dazed and confused, like can't really understand what's going on around him. Like he thinks he sees some guy that's like on fire and has like glowing eyes, like kind of like some scarecrow shit, like
yeah.
kind of like that, but not obviously. Like,
I mean that's very Metal Gear-y.
Yeah,
like there
exactly.
could be a guy doing some scarecrow shit.
yeah,
But like, so you definitely see there's a big importance of, so Snake is wounded, he's flatlining, they stabilize him, but he's in a coma. You see Roy is concerned about him, like they want him to pull through. There's going to be a weird coma sequence. He's going to get out of that coma, get rescued, and brought back in. You see Ocelot, like he's in his cowboy attire, but he's not quite an old man.
He's
so
still pretty young, yeah.
Yeah, he's still pretty young. So like, it's going to be more of like him talking to Boss, and like they're going to just like he's going to inspire him more, and like they're going to start like talking about things, because the whole Genome Soldier project was something that Ocelot went and told Big Boss about, and was like told the government, like, I know somebody who would be good for that. Like, that's our guy.
Yeah.
If anyone can lead these soldiers, it's him.
Word.
yeah.
But shit goes awry though.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know too, like, honestly, there's not enough to really go on.
yeah.
To like,
tight,
it's
yeah.
all just speculation, but like,
But a short thing, all the enemies you fight in Metal Gear Solid 1, the first PlayStation game, are clones, or pretty much Snake's brothers too, because they are the Genome Project.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much facing your brothers, and it's a bunch of different versions of the Big Boss, but they all have like a certain lifespan that they degenerate, and that's kind of what Liquid was looking for, like a cure to not degenerate so quickly. But
Yeah.
they're all going to die in the end though, but they don't know how, because they're all defective except for Solidus.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Word.
Nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah.
Kojima's a genius.
Kojima's a fucking genius. I'm so glad I got to meet him and shake his hand.
You shook his hand?
I was just like, thank you.
He said, and then in Japanese he said, "Thank you, White Devil."
Yeah.
Half White Devil.
Yeah.
Did he ever cure Albatos just like all day? Just like, I don't want to shake Americans' hands. It's so greasy with hamburgers and stuff.
That's all we eat is just hamburgers
Like-
for breakfast.
just handfuls of mac and cheese. Not even something just like,
Cheese whiz.
Handfuls of mac and cheese.
hell yeah.
I put cheese whiz on my Kraft cheese, dude.
I feel like that's a good note to end on, is that you
Okay.
put cheese whiz on your craft cheese.
That's
Right.
tight.
Word. All right.
All right, let's hurry up and wrap this up. We've splurged way too much
We
on
are
Metal
wrapped
Gear.
up. That was our wrap up.
Yeah.
we're
We're
done.
super wrapped up.
Thanks for signing on. This is us signing off.
Oh wait, before we can I just
No.
say for
Yeah.
thank you for inviting me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
to the
man.
podcast.
No,
I like what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool. I got to say that you guys
Thank
starting
you.
your own website is kind of rad,
Thank you.
and that's like a pretty bold step to take. And I dig it. I respect that a lot. It's a lot of drive. I like it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jose on the final boss.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, we're stoked that you came, man.
Yeah,
I was
thanks for
glad
inviting
you asked. It was funny. Really short story. He literally said, he was just like, "Yo, how's the website thing going?" And I talked to him about it for a second. And he was just like, "Cool. If you guys ever want somebody to come talk about Metal Gear Solid, let me know."
And then I was like,
And then
hey,
one-
you guys, we should actually do a podcast on Metal Gear because I've been reading these news articles and we should probably talk about this because it seems like something that people are super stoked on.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, somebody else that can talk with Tyla about it.
Yeah.
Because you and I
Good,
certainly can't.
Good,
Yeah.
man. That
And
was fun.
we hit up Jose. So awesome having him here.
So,
We're going to sign off now for real.
yeah.
It's been Fat Hell 124.
Oh, Jose M. Kano 90.
Yeah.
I'm barely on there.
My
but,
dude.
yeah.
I might be playing Mass Effect 3. I might be playing Bioshock. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the Infinity.
Shout outs to the Infinite. All right, and I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Raccoon Chad. As always, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TrollStompGaming, Twitter at TrollStompGaming, no G at the end, Tumblr,
TrollStompGaming.tumblr.com.
and Pinterest, Pinterest.com/TrollStompGaming. Again, no G at the end.
You'll see us post every once in a while on Reddit, Troll Stomp Gaming.
Yeah, and we're also on iTunes. Just search for The Final Boss. We should be the first one because the other two podcasts actually don't do it anymore. Their last podcast was in 2012.
Yeah, we won.
You
Yeah.
are the
We
you
won.
are the final
We're
boss.
the final boss.
We are the final big boss.
Oh.
The ultimate
I
boss.
went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You feel good about that?
I feel great.
All right. Okay. I guess that's gonna do it for us. So bye.
Thank you.
What a friend we've done.